Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 10 of Wands. This is a lot of energy, right? This is someone who is so devoted, so committed, putting in so much effort for something, right? That has maybe like disconnected from the reason why they're out here doing all of this work. This is like full speed ahead for a long time, right? I think you're somebody that has a lot of pressure on them. You got a lot of weight on your shoulders, right? You're carrying like a big burden, maybe at work, at home, at school, for friends, family, for in a relationship even. I feel like you're somebody that takes it upon themselves to say like, I'll do it. I got to take care of this. It's my responsibility. Okay. And so it kind of feels as if you're out here alone carrying a big heavy weight. Okay. And it maybe feels like there's not enough help out there for you. This card very often is reminding you to ask for help when you need it. To don't always feel like you have to carry every single like grocery bag in the house. You know, you line them up on your arms and you're just going to make one trip and you're walking in the house like this. You don't have to do that all the time. Okay? I think that you are someone who tends to say, no, stand back. I'll do it. You know, for most things in life. And you're very strong. You're very capable. You're capable of putting the pedal to the metal, but this card is suggesting that you'll get tired eventually, right? You'll get exhausted, not just, your muscles are sore because you had a good hard day of exercise and hard work, but that your soul is getting exhausted, okay? And we don't want that to happen because whatever you're building, whatever this responsibility is, it's obviously important to you, okay? And sometimes this card stems from either a desire or a fear of like disappointing people, or like a desire to be seen as someone who is strong and capable. I don't need help. I don't need help. Okay? Maybe when you were younger, your parents liked to do everything for you and never let you try anything on your own. And I struggle with that with my daughter. She's 5. She wants to do everything by herself, you know. And most things she can, and we just let her do it. But the idea is that there is help if you need it. And you have to be willing to ask for help, you know, or to even just to accept the help that's being offered to you sometimes, okay? Because I feel like this card's getting very close to burnout, exhaustion, just a general like fatigue. Okay, let's put this card into a little bit of context. Let's see what you're working so hard for. There's an 8 of Wands. There's a 5 of Pentacles. A 10 of Swords. An Ace of Wands. And the Empress. Well, I see this is what's in your future. This is a major upgrade. This is really, this is big time. Okay, so I think that you got out of a situation where your energy was being blocked or kind of stifled, or you were being too tightly contained somewhere, you know? And so now you maybe are, you've separated yourself from something or someone that was holding you back, and you've achieved a kind of, almost spiritual independence, you know? And so you are kind of out here doing it on your own, reinventing the wheel, so to speak, building your own temple from the ground up, okay? Because I think you kind of refuse to live in someone else's temple, yeah. The bird cage of the 10 of Swords, yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. The Empress, major upgrade, yeah? We have a Knight of Wands. See, more fire energy. We have a 10 of Cups, beautiful. 10, 10, and 10. I think this is really coming to a conclusion. I think that you are achieving what you set out to achieve. Okay. And then we have a 6 of Swords and a 3 of Swords. Yes, we don't want to let that 10 of Wands result in a 3 of Swords, right? In a very literal way, the burnout here, if you were to run out of fuel before you get to the end, it would be a major heartbreak, okay? I think this is also saying that there is a deeper reason why you feel like you have to do everything by yourself. Yeah, but it's paying off for you. And I think that's an important thing to consider. The 10 of Cups, the Empress energy, right here front and center. This is the very center of the tarot table today, okay? So this is the result of all of your hard work and all of your effort. Yeah, is that Empress life. That's pleasure, that's happiness, that's love, okay? That is really this is like, this is super abundance. Yeah, super abundance. And I think that this is worth all of the effort. And to remind yourself of where you're going and where you came from is kind of giving you that burst of energy that you need for this, I feel like you're kind of on the home stretch. And when you can see the finish line ahead of you, it kind of gives you that surge of energy. You can run just a little bit faster to get to that finish line. Just be careful that you don't burn yourself out. Be careful that you take care of yourself. I feel like the momentum, right? I feel like things are picking up very, very fast for you. And it's important that you take the time to care for yourself, to connect with that sense of purpose, to honor your body too, right? The Empress is very much this physical body that we're in, kind of honoring our own temple, our own private temple, the internal garden. As much as you're cultivating the external garden, this card reminds you to pay attention to the internal garden too. Yeah. Because that's very important. And without the internal garden, without taking care of you, everything from skin inward, you're not going to be able to do this work. Whether this is a business thing, if it's a family kind of, trajectory, or some kind of a creative thing that you're doing, if it is a relationship even, okay, you have to look at it like it's a partnership between you and the universe, you and the people around you. The 10 of Wands reminds us that no one is an island. Yeah. Let's select the mystery card, okay? Type yes in the comments if you're still watching. Okay, this is a bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set this down right here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. We're not going to look at that happy little card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below the video. So now, as we look around the room, we see that the only major arcana is the Empress. This is the crux of the matter. This is the very center. This is the galactic center, right, around which every other card is swirling. This is what you're going to step into. This is the path forward for you. This is the future for you. This is what you want. This is where you're going. And this is what you need to do. And I think the self-care is important, because the Empress is someone who is bleeding, sweating, and crying for something. Okay? Expending all of this energy. Giving, 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 giving. And it may feel like you're doing it alone, right? But you don't care, because it's worth it. But it's also saying that the Empress needs to be able to receive. The Empress needs to be able to accept and take in and do that self-care and put some attention on yourself as well. Okay, because I see that your attention is going outward, to everything and everyone that needs you, every part of this business that needs your input. You're doing the accounting, you're doing the books, the taxes, you're doing the operations, the manufacturing, the assembly, the sales, the customer service, the purchasing, the accounts payable, everything, right? You're doing all of it, the marketing, the social media. And it's, it's kind of like your attention is going out there a lot, but the attention needs to come back in as well. Okay? I think the 10 of Swords is you waking up to purpose. And waking up to that purpose, and you went, balls to the wall, right? 110%. But see, it's interesting with these two cards. Now, let me just say, we've got a lot of fire. So we have our one major, we have fire, 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 and fire. We've got water over here, which is, so good, bliss, blessings, miracles upon miracles coming in your life, okay? We've got air, air, and air. And the air cards, I think, are very interesting. They tell a bit of a story, okay? That you got out of a situation where you were being held back, that you got out of the birdcage, you woke up to purpose. You realized that what you were doing before purpose, okay, didn't mean anything. It didn't have, there ceased to be a purpose or a point in something. Okay, so this is the ruin. This is something has turned to dust. This is a dry and desiccated belief or plan. This is maybe something that you were doing in life, a relationship, a business, a work, some kind of employment, some kind of a activity or endeavor that you kind of realized, you woke up to it one day and you said, there's nothing here. This is dry and desiccated. This was a dry hole. This is in the cartoons where they hold up just the fish bones, like, I don't know, Garfield or something, just kind of holds up the fish bones, and there's no meat left there. There's nothing for you. So you moved away from that, and you have this very, very heavy independent energy right now. You don't need anybody else, okay? And it makes sense when you come out of a 10 of Swords, you're saying, I don't want anybody else, because anybody else involved is going to be like another birdcage. And I don't want no birdcage, right? So you kind of have your own plan over here with the 6 of Swords, and this is now everything that you do, every thought you have is centered on your purpose. Over here, things broke down. Over here, things are kind of meaningless, pointless. You see all the swords here. The tips of all of those swords are broken off. So it's literally the pointless card, right? But over here, everything has a point, and every one of those points is pointing into your heart. It's that sense of purpose, that divine plan. Okay. The problem is that the very thing that set you free is the thing that could sabotage all of this, and that's where we have the 3 of Swords, because this is a memory, this is a habit, a pattern, this is a complex or something that it may be that your independence and your refusal to ask for help or accept help is really going to possibly lead to the burnout, okay? So that independence that freed you from this then has to be recognized as, okay, taken to the extreme. That's going to separate you from what you really need. It's going to prevent you from accepting love, accepting the joy, accepting, the help, accepting the partners or the friends, accepting other people and accepting those relationships. Okay. So anyway, we have our air energy and we have a little tiny bit of earth. The thing about the 10 of Wands and the 8 of Wands is this is pressure coming from outside. So you feel that there's a lot of weight on your shoulders. You're responsible for this life or this other person or this business or whatever it is. But then there's also this pressure coming from inside. So there's a lot of pressure on you and in you, right? And to me, it feels like your life is so busy right now that there's not a lot of time for you. And there's not a lot of time for self-care. There's not a lot of time for personal needs. Yeah, personal needs. It's kind of like you have to rush through your self-care, your shower. It has to be fast. You don't have time to just sit and leisurely read a book or watch the sunset or listen to music or just sit there and stare at the wall or something, right? Like you're busy, real busy. And you keep yourself busy, okay? And I think that it's an admirable quality. I think you are creating an abundant life. But you need to be aware of this. You're going to burn out. Okay? This is a lot of pressure. This is a lot of kind of you feeling as if you have to keep moving. Yeah, with that Eight of Wands, this is a card of swiftness. This is the card of like fireworks all the time. You think, fireworks all the time, it would be a little overwhelming. Yeah. But this is really the recognition that there's always something to do. There's always a task. Okay, maybe you can outsource, maybe you can delegate, maybe you can prioritize, maybe you can shift some things to tomorrow. And that's kind of the opposite of what we usually talk about, right? We usually say, stop procrastinating. If you can do it, and if it'll take you less than 5 minutes to do it, then do it right here, right now, But this is kind of the opposite. This is almost Spirit's way of saying, if it doesn't need to be done today, postpone it till tomorrow or until later, so you can give yourself a little bit of rest or a little bit of time right now. Okay? A little bit of time right now. Type love in the comments if you're vibing with this. Okay? Because the Eight of Wands is an energy that is very attentive to everything else around it. All the eights are very attentive. The eights are always that your mind is kind of spread out in a lot of different directions. This is your energy is spread out in a lot of different directions. Yeah. I think your mind is very clear. Your mind is very sharp, and it is supporting this effort. So you're very organized. I think you're very, very structured. You probably have like a schedule for your day, but it's packed full. It's so full that I don't think there's enough time for you. And, the Eight of Wands, I think you're someone who is probably taking on the responsibility for other people too. So instead of you asking for help and you having some of the burden lifted from your shoulders, feels like you are out there doing that for other people. Oh, let me carry that for you. Let me do that paperwork for you. Let me help you with that. Meanwhile, your plate is already full. So I feel like you can't really take much more on. Maybe this is at work, and you keep saying, yeah, let me do more work. Come on, just bring it on. Bring me some more files to, I don't know, alphabetize or something. And I think that it's a lot. Maybe this is your business. Maybe you are selling some of your creations on Etsy or something, or on a website or whatever. I don't know. And you're doing everything yourself, and you keep taking on more and more orders. Well, that's a very good thing. That's a good problem to have, right? That you're so busy that you can't keep up with the orders coming in. That means you're going to make a lot of money. But you're not able to keep up with it. So what do? Then you're late getting the shipments to the customers, or you're rushing through the creation process, and the customers are getting a lower quality product. And so it really, down the line, it creates, like downstream, it creates a really bad outcome. So you have to learn to slow down and figure out how you're going to scale this thing, because I feel like it's something that's going to continue to grow and get bigger and bigger. This is the path forward for you. I think it really is about you kind of acting more as an empress, right? Acting more as as the one who is kind of delegating tasks to people, doing what you need to do, doing maybe the artistic part that's essential, that only you can do, but finding ways to outsource the other parts of your life to make it easier, automate things. It's kind of like you do the automatic bill pay or something like that, just because that'll save you, an hour every month or something like that in your life. Scheduling time for yourself. Making sure that you cultivate the internal garden. Because if you're cultivating this external garden and focused outwardly, all of this good stuff that's coming to you, you're not going to be able to enjoy it. You're going to be very successful. The Empress is success. The 10 of Cups is bliss. Wonderful things are happening for you. And I want you to enjoy them. Spirit wants you to enjoy them. Yeah. Type Empress in the comments if you're claiming this card. because we want the abundance. You want to receive all the miracles, all the blessings, all the abundance of the universe, right? As a result of your hard work, you're ready to receive. Type I receive in the comments, yeah, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Because you're receiving all of this abundance, and to receive that means that you're going to have to slow down so that you can recognize that. And you have to put down the tools you're using so that your hands can be open so you can receive. Now, down beneath the surface, Five of Pentacles, worry. Okay, this is someone who is worried that they're not doing enough, worried that they're not contributing enough, and it's, I got to work harder, I've got to work faster, I've got to build more and more and more so that I can be of value. Okay, so it kind of feels like you need to be aware of what you really are doing, what you really are accomplishing. Because this is somebody who, despite their best efforts, despite all the work that they're doing, the hard work, the 110% effort, despite everything, even despite all the success that's coming to you, there's still this feeling inside of you that you haven't done enough, that it's not good enough, it's not big enough. You're not worthy of the love and the respect because you haven't contributed enough, you haven't paid in enough, you haven't paid your dues enough. Okay, so there's this disharmony inside that feels, it feels like never really worthy of success, or that the success that you're achieving is never enough. You're never done yet. It's never good enough. Okay, we're lacking that harmony inside. And so there's always this worry. And because of this, we get that Eight of Wands that's saying, I got to do more. I got to do it faster. Okay. Because you want that love. You want recognition. You want acceptance. You want to feel like what you're doing in your life right now is worth something, that it has value. Okay. The problem is, maybe you're equating value with like literally the physical product or the physical abundance. Okay. And so it's kind of like, you only have a certain amount of energy or a certain amount of hours in the day. And no matter how much you're burning the candle at both ends, it's still a feeling that you haven't contributed enough. You haven't put in enough hours. There are no more hours to put in. There's nothing more that you can do, So the Five of Pentacles is also a card of the material world, and I think that it may have to do with finances. And so we can kind of extrapolate on the financial part of it, and of course the Empress would be the financial abundance. I think that what you're doing here is going to lead to a solution to your financial problems. Okay, let me just put that out there. Hit the like button and claim this reading if that's part of it for you. The financial part is going to be very abundant. But this could also mean it could also mean that some of this over expenditure of energy is leading to some physical ailments, joint pain, tension headaches, stiffness and soreness in your neck, vision problems, okay? A lack of energy, poor sleep, poor digestion, okay, indigestion, things like that, maybe the acid reflux kind of thing. Because I kind of feel that your body's getting run down. You got to take care of the temple. Yeah, you got to take care of the temple. And so I think that this card really, it's very important because this is the only Earth card in the spread. That's the only Pentacles we see, okay? So it's got to take on a lot of roles here. It's got to serve as your physical and financial card, your health and your wealth, and the material world around you. So it may be that no matter how much abundance you receive, and no matter how much hard work you do, and how much effort you put into something, and how much you create, how much of this external garden you cultivate, no matter how many tomatoes you got growing, still feels like your physical existence is shaky at best, unstable. No matter how much money comes in, still feels like it's a very volatile world. I need more to feel secure. This is a card that says we feel insecure, right? Insecure. And so I think you're somebody that probably goes to like thrift stores and you try to really look for bargains, clipping coupons, that sort of thing. And despite all of your efforts, it feels like you're always going to have this perceived scarcity. So maybe you grew up in a household where there wasn't a lot of abundance, okay? And now, no matter how much abundance you receive, it still feels like it's not enough. There's no security. There's no stability here. And maybe you're right. Maybe in the grand scheme of things, security and safety and stability are illusions. They are impermanent, right, at best. But nevertheless, how you feel about your life, there needs to be some security. So anytime we get a 5 in the tarot, right, we start looking for the 4. Because that's what you're looking for. You're looking for stability. The 5 is always the 5-fingered hand. And in this case, it's a hand that's saying, are you able to receive? Are you capable of receiving and acknowledging and appreciating and honoring what you're creating in life? Are you receiving abundance, right? But this is also the hand that's kind of waving at you and say, hey, look over here. Because this is where in your life you don't feel secure. Because this is where you're kind of looking for security. Maybe this is financial, maybe this is physical, maybe in terms of your health. Or it could be in the living situation, something like that. It could be in the job that you're in. You don't feel a security no matter how much effort you put in, no matter how much you're there every day putting in overtime to prove your worth. It still feels like your job is like not secure, And that's not a good feeling, is it? So I think that we have to at least acknowledge some of this energy. But what's the 10 of Swords for you? Leave a comment. Let me know what this 10 of Swords is for you. What was the bird cage that you got out of? Maybe this was a relationship. Maybe it's a romantic thing. Maybe this was a career or a job or a work in some field or industry that you had previously. And you, maybe there was security there. You think about a bird cage. It's very secure, right? But it's limiting. It's an illusion of security, the bird cage. You're living in the bird cage. You're usually indoors. It's a gilded cage, right? And someone brings you food and water. That's not too bad. But you can't really do much, right? It's boring there. We realize that, our wings are clipped when we're in the bird cage. But there's apparent safety. Getting out of the bird cage, no safety, no guarantees, no comfort necessarily, right? It's kind of like you've got to grow your wings and you've got to fly. And you are doing that. And I think that you're doing it a lot better than you realize. I think you are manifesting a lot of abundance that you're not even really acknowledging yet. Because again, with the 10 of Wands, you're so overloaded with the work that you're not even like looking around and saying, oh wow, look what I've created, So you're taking this birdcage thing very seriously. You got out of the birdcage, and that means, well, it's all on you now. And yeah, you got to put in all that work because there's no guarantees, there's no safety, there's no stability, there's no security. No one's bringing you food. No one's changing your, I don't know, what is it, newspaper at the bottom or wood shavings or whatever, sawdust. Nobody's cleaning the cage for us. So you've got to do all of it. And I think that you really kind of went to the extreme with that idea. And now you're literally like doing all of it, everything. And well, it's paying off for you. It really is leading to this Empress abundance. Type abundance in the comments if you're claiming this, okay? Because this is good, and I think it really is important that you acknowledge what you are creating, and what you've built, and how far you've come, and how far away that birdcage is for you. Maybe it's only a few days. Maybe you left a company and you started your own business, or you started, kind of doing your own thing. Maybe it's that you left a family situation that was toxic. Maybe you left a relationship that you were in just because you wanted the safety of being in a relationship. And now you're out here independent. I'm not going to say alone. You're out here independent, growing your wings back and flying. And you've really done it, you know. The Ace of Wands at the top here is showing that laser focus. This is your power of attention. This is a laser beam of light that you can shine on anything you want. And the idea with this is that all of your attention is going outside of you. All these things I got to do. Every time I wake up in the morning, it's like, oh, I got a list of 100 things that need to get done around this house or at this job or in my business, you know. And I feel you on this. Trust me. I know what it's like. My birdcage was a job that I had. I got out of that birdcage. I grew my wings back, and I devoted myself 110,000% to this channel, to my YouTube career, my independent career. I have the website, Patreon, you know, so hey, go find me on Patreon, by the way. And you know what? Go find me on Instagram and Facebook and stuff too. I want to build up those platforms. Anyway, the idea is that there is so much more to do now than there ever was before. I thought I was busy and stressed out working my part-time data entry job. I had that job for about 15 years. And getting out of that job and doing this is so much more effort, so much more work. And sometimes I forget to slow down and consider how much we've built. Okay? Because there's a lot to do. There's tax stuff going on, there's legal stuff, there's content, there's creation, there's the actual work here, me doing this, talking to you, which this is where I want to be. I don't want to do the rest of the stuff, but I have to, you know. And this is that card that's kind of telling you, maybe telling us, right, that we need to turn this back around and shine a little bit of that light on us. That we got to sometimes look in the mirror and say, how am I doing? Yeah. And I think that because for you, all of your energy is going outwardly. That you're just kind of like you got a sore shoulder and you just say, oh, whatever, I got to do the paperwork here. And so it's a dismissal of your own needs sometimes. Yeah. Come on, let's light up the comments with some positivity. Yeah. Let's light it up. Because that's what we need right now. We need to illuminate those things, and that's exactly what the Five of Pentacles is doing. The Five of Pentacles is down here inside of you, in your tummy, saying, hey, look at me, pay attention to me. Your body, your soul, everything from your skin inward is saying, hey, pay attention to me. And your attention, though, if you look at it, your attention's going outward that way. We need to flip this card around. And I don't do reversals, I make reversals. We need to flip that card around so that light is going inside. So you can see that, okay, wow, yeah, I got a sore body. My soul is run ragged right now. I need a little bit of soul restoration. Okay, maybe I can outsource some things. Maybe I can slow down. Maybe I can organize things in a different way so that, there's more time for you to rest and relax and recuperate. Okay. Tell me in the comments which one of these cards resonates the most with you right now. Okay. And who was your favorite teacher as a child? Spirit's referencing your favorite teacher. And I don't know if it doesn't have to be in school. I guess it could be any kind of a mentor. It could be a family member, a friend or something. But somebody that really taught you like the right way of life, Or maybe somebody that taught you about hard work. Yeah, taught you about hard work. I feel like what you really need right now is some silence and some peace. Yeah. But in the future position, of course, we have the Empress. Now, this again is not only the outward abundance, it's about the internal garden too. You got to cultivate yourself. Find something that you like to do that's just for you, that just feels good. You like to take bubble baths? Schedule yourself some bubble baths this week, okay? Really luxuriate. Now, you're still going to take care of your responsibilities, but you have to rearrange some things so that you can have an hour a day to take a bubble bath and have a burrito or whatever. That's what I like to do. Because you're not going to be able to enjoy or appreciate the life that you're creating if you're not taking care of yourself too. Okay? You have to recognize that you're becoming the person that you thought you would become. This is who you've wanted to be. This is the life that you've wanted to have. And you should be enjoying it more than you are. Okay, at least you need to cultivate yourself, your body, your heart, your mind, so that you can enjoy the life you're creating. Somebody who is so overworked that they're building up an empire, but they're not able to really enjoy that empire. Now, maybe you're thinking it's a selfless thing. I'm doing it for my kids or my grandkids or whatever, doing it for future generations. I'm not doing it for me, yeah, but you're not going to be able to do it for anybody if you don't take care of yourself. And that's really the first lesson of the Empress, is that if you want to be of service to other people, you've got to be of service to yourself. It's kind of like in the airplane. You got to put your own oxygen mask on first before you start helping everybody around. Okay? You want to be a good parent, a good mom, or a good dad or something. You want to take care of the kids. You got to take care of yourself too. Otherwise, you're going to be useless to the kids. I tell you, that's a lesson I'm learning. My wife and I have a 5-year-old daughter. And, it's a difficult thing. Because what we're building here in terms of our business and all that stuff, it's for her, right? I mean, she's going to inherit everything that I'm working for in life. And I want to be able to also enjoy the time with her, and I'm starting to get a little teary-eyed now. We'll move on from that, but you get the idea. Let's talk about the path of the serpent. And again, subscribe to the channel, all right? I appreciate your support. It really helps, really does, okay? Your general energy, Knight of Wands, go, 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 go. It's like every moment you have this surge of energy. I don't know where you get it. Maybe it's a cup of strong coffee in the morning, but it's like you're up and you're zooming. Yeah. Instead of you lingering and slowly getting ready and taking your time and having a morning routine, the nights are all about how you begin things, how you start things. And so as your general energy, this is a type of person who starts things quick, doesn't need to rev up the engine, right? Doesn't need to get the feet moving and then go like in a cartoon. This is someone who's just up and zooming. Rather than somebody that might wake up in the morning and have a cup of coffee, do some stretches, some light exercise, some yoga, go sit outside, do your prayers or your rituals and things like this, meditate, cook a light breakfast, have some fruit, kind of have a routine, a slow routine. This is somebody who is rushing. This is somebody who is saying, I don't have time to drink a glass of water and stretch or comb my hair or, you know what I mean? I just got to get up and run. And so it kind of feels like I'm late, I'm late, I'm late. It's the rabbit, right? It's the white rabbit. Always late. Always feeling like you've got somewhere to be 5 minutes ago. And I think that's part of the problem. That's going to be burnout. We've got to learn to slow down. Slow down. Type slow in the comments if you're going to try to slow down a little bit. It's just a little bit. Just ease back a little bit. If you have to go to bed a little bit earlier and wake up a little bit earlier so that you can mosey a little bit. Type mosey in the comments if you know how to spell it. M-O-S-E-Y maybe? I don't know. That's an odd one. You don't see that in print very much anymore, do you? Slow down a little bit. Try to find some aspect of your day that you can slow down and just have a little routine. Whether it's just like waking up in the morning and you're going to go slower. You're going to walk a little slower. You're going to sit and you're going to enjoy your coffee before you have to get up and just start zooming off to life. Okay? Because 10 of Cups. Bliss, satisfaction. This is contentment. This is not the dopamine hit of pursuing goals, achieving goals, and the motivation to go do it again. This is a life where you're just sitting down blissed out, just eyes just kind of glazed over, and you're just like, this is good. This is delicious. This coffee is the best coffee I've ever had, you know. And really the idea here is that you're working so hard that you're making yourself so uncomfortable with the pressure and the work and the activity and the going hard, balls to the wall, 110%, that spending 5 minutes to slow down and just enjoy a cup of coffee is going to feel like this is like the $1 million cup of coffee. Like this is the best coffee I've ever had. You know, just sitting outside and watching the sunrise, even though you're getting bit by mosquitoes and it's hot and it's muggy outside, it's still like, this is the best morning I've ever had, you know? And so think about that like when you're a kid and stuff, you know, when you have just such like you just work really, really hard for something. And then when you finally get to sit down and just play with your toys, it's like, this is the best day ever, you know? My daughter says that all the time because she'll go and she'll do her classes and she does jujitsu. And we'll have a busy day of errands or something like that. But then when she gets to sit down and just kind of color, she's like, this is bliss. Just to be able to lay on the floor and color for 10 minutes, you know. And we have to take a hint from that. Going out and doing all this hard work like you're doing should make the good stuff in life taste better. So much better, right? That bubble bath feels like it is it's the best bubble bath in the universe. That shower just feels like magic, you know. And that coffee just tastes like nectar and ambrosia. You have to let yourself melt into that moment. Because this is that card, not of the dopamine hit, but of the serotonin, right? The rest and digest kind of energy. It's just like, that was the best meal I've ever eaten. You know, when you work a long day, you finally get home and you eat something. You could you could eat really, really quick because I got to get back to work. I got more stuff to do. I got to go to the office or whatever. Then yeah, you're not really going to enjoy it. But if you have a long, hard day and you sit down and you say, I'm going to slow down right now and I'm going to experience this. I'm going to take it all in and I'm going to eat these lima beans one by one and they're going to just taste like candy. I don't really like lima beans. That's what we need right now, okay? This is also really the card that's saying all of your efforts, all of the abundance that you're creating is coming in, and it should feel really, really good. And you should let yourself for a moment feel content. This isn't going to last forever because guess what? Tomorrow you got more work to do. There's always going to be more effort to put in. So make these moments last. When something good happens, milk it for everything it's worth. Enjoy it, sink in, melt into the moment. And enjoy these moments of bliss. Seek them out, claim them. Okay? And after the name of the card is satiety. We've eaten just enough that we feel full, we feel content, don't need another bite of food. I'm fine in this moment. This moment is perfect. I don't need anything. I wouldn't change anything about this moment. But in a couple hours, I'm going to be hungry again. And that's the way of life, right? So we have to enjoy that. And I love what we have here. We have the 10 of Wands, maximum effort, maximum reward. That's the name of the game. The 6 of Swords is in the position of your obstacle. And I think maybe part of the obstacle is just like scheduling. There's so much to do and so little time to do it. And so I feel that rearranging some of your activities and looking at your schedule, adjusting your timetables a little bit will be very helpful for you. Because I think that you want to be very organized. You want to plan things out and have a structure. But sometimes with the 8 of Wands, things just feel chaotic. Okay? Feels like, yeah, you want a schedule. And maybe having a schedule, having a routine is going to really help you to be able to slow down and enjoy the moments, enjoy the success, and really claim this bliss. Because it's coming. Okay? So maybe having more of a routine and more of a schedule will help you feel less chaotic and help you feel more in control and feel more allowed to take this time to enjoy and to relax and all that stuff. Okay? Now please hit that subscribe button. Claim this energy. Your final card is, of course, that Three of Swords. Because if you don't cultivate the internal garden, no amount of external success is going to feel like anything. This is an underlying sorrow. This is, no matter how much I achieve, I still don't feel my own worth. No matter how much abundance I create, I still don't feel like I'm enjoying it. We want this to be celebration. We want this to be a Three of Cups, not a Three of Swords. So you have to look into these energies and understand the psychic dynamic, the psychic energy that's going on with you, and why it's difficult for you to enjoy what you're creating, or feeling like you have to keep going, and not enjoy the fruit of your own labor. Okay? I want to look at the mystery card. I know this reading is getting a little bit long, and your time is valuable, obviously, so I'll try to hurry it up. I want this to be a Three of Cups, or a 6, or a 9, or a 10, or something, some kind of active cups energy. If you have a prediction, I want you to put it in the comments. I think a 6 of Cups would be good, because that would be value. That would be, I feel seen, I feel valued. Okay? So let's see what we have. Oh, an Ace of Cups. Oh, that's okay too. We will take it, because this is everything. This is that, that internal garden. This is that heart chakra that if you focus on it, if you pay attention to it, it's going to be the source of joy and love and bliss in every aspect of your life. So this is a source of water that will flow out into every direction. See, the Ace is unmanifested yet. The Ace is not, it hasn't unfolded. So the Ace is basically saying that if you tap into this source, if you tap into your true essence and your source of love, this love, this joy, this bliss, this abundance is going to flow out to every other area of your life. And you'll find more enjoyment in your personal life, your professional life, your romantic life, your physical, financial life, mental, emotional, and your spiritual, creative life will benefit. Because this is a pool of water. Like when you pour a bunch of water in the dirt, and so at first it's just like a big puddle, but then it starts to trickle out and form these little branches. This is that love. This is that really good feeling of joy and jubilation and delight that is going to trickle out and flow into every other dimension of your life. And you'll start enjoying every aspect of your life more. Okay? But you have to focus inward. You have to turn the light of your perception inward so you can tap into this water energy, this love energy, and tap into your heart. Okay? And cultivate that internal garden. Really, it's the result of the work of the Empress. Because I kind of feel like you're doing the work of the Emperor, right? We have Aries with the Knight of Wands. This is an Aries power card. You're doing the work of Aries, and now you're doing the work, let's say, of the Emperor. I want you to do the work of the Empress, too. You're focusing on all the hard work you're doing out there, but focus on receiving. Focus on tapping into that love and letting that love flow out and make every aspect of your life feel good. Because it is good. You're making it good. You're manifesting your will. And it should feel accordingly. Yeah. So I think this is nice. Now we're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner, and there's a link down below in the video description. New readings for Leo on Mondays and Thursdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.